Points up.
Yeah. Everyone's got different form, you know, like the people like the form Nazi out there that, you know, they'll hate on our 200-pound, you know, dumbbell rows and stuff like that. At the end of the day, you need to use the form that's going to feel good for you to keep your joints healthy, and kind of where you can kind of optimize and really feel the muscle. Marc does these different. He's over a little bit more, you know, I let it come back a little bit more, so I'm using a bit more body English up here while he's over a little bit. And the same with like bicep curls. Like I actually think a controlled cheat is actually really important for bicep growth. If you're just sitting there like, you know, you're not going to be able to stimulate your muscle. You're not going to be able to overload it. So for all you form Nazis, you know, you are probably the guys that have the 12-inch arms. So I'm just being real. And I'm not trying to say that you need to use sloppy form. It's just controlled, you know, body English. It's nothing crazy.
Now for the second exercise, this is a bicep preacher. You can use there's so many things you can do to mimic this movement.
However, the hammer strength makes a good plate loaded one like this, but it's definitely putting all the concentration on your biceps as opposed to, you know, something where you're swinging. Yep. So second tricep, I can't even speak. Tricep exercise.
So much pump.
Yeah, exactly. It's going right to the brain. We're doing skull crushes, but we're using the cable for constant tension. I used to do a lot of just like easy curl barbell free weight on this, but I was finding that I wasn't really feeling my tricep as much. So this is definitely the constant tension throughout. Great for the long head. So I like to do this once my elbow's a little warmer. After one exercise of bicep, one exercise of tricep. The creaky muscles are feeling a little better. So one of my favorite bicep exercises that I always do is usually a hammer drill. So whether or not it's rope, which I would do more towards the end, or the hammer, really hitting the brachioradialis. A lot of people want to know how you have big arms. A lot of it is the brachioradialis because that gives you the size between your bicep and your tricep. So your hammer curls, you know, really hit the mid part of your arm in here, and
a nice split.
And this is where I do a little loose form. You know, I'll get a little English in it. I'm not, you know, nothing crazy, but I don't worry too much about form here. I just want to make sure that I feel it in my muscle. So however that turns out, that's how I do it.
I'm naturally overpowering my front delts on my chest.
Yeah.
So I try to bring my elbow back, because by bringing your elbow forward, what happens? When you hit a chest flex, you don't go back here. By bringing my elbow forward, it's going to activate my chest. My elbows come back. It's forcing me to focus more on the bicep. Now for Doug, who's extremely, look at his fucking arms. He's not going to have that same problem.
I mean, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I don't even really think about it now. I've been doing this so much.
It's the same
It's
here.
just my muscle. It's just that's the way that my body has adapted to do this training. So for me, it's my form. For you, it's your form.
Now, when I go too heavy, I will swing the weight and I will engage some front delt to get that maximum contraction on top.
The third tricep exercise. So we've done 2 bis, 2 tries, going to more of a compound move, but we're using the Smith machine here today. This actually has a good heavy weight to it, so feels a little heavier than a regular Smith machine. Gonna be doing some close grip bench press here. 3 to 4 sets, working pyramiding up.
Yeah, and by keeping it close, keeping it nice and tight, make sure all your pressure's on your triceps. Of course, you're gonna get some chest activation, but our focus today is obviously gonna be on working them triceps. And notice, he's not fully locking out. A lot of people, this isn't a powerlifting competition. When you lock out, that pressure is being taken from your triceps straight to your elbow joint. So I always like to say, unless you're locking out for a powerlifting meet, I'm not saying come to here, but right about here, not here. I don't want you overextending it, because again, this ain't a powerlifting workout. If it was, we wouldn't be doing this shit right here.
We've already done one kind of preacher machine here, but we did a different grip. This we're doing more of a straight grip as opposed to an inner grip. And this is a high pad versus a low pad. We just have the option to do a lot of machines today because it's a cool gym. So we're taking advantage of that. And plus we just did heavy, kind of almost a whole body exercise with the hammers. So really now I'm all about filling the muscle with blood as much as possible, doing a little bit of fascia stretching. So we've done 3 triceps, 3 biceps, alternating back and forth. Now for our final tricep, this is gonna be our second push down motion. For this, we're gonna be doing the ropes, and on these, I like to slow it down a little bit now that we already have a pump. So we're not gonna be going quite as heavy, but really squeeze and hold as much as we can at the bottom. Really fills up your arms with blood at the end. So do 3 to 4 sets here. We've done about 4 sets on everything else, but this one we might stick with about 3 sets. So see how this feels. Bicep exercise, we're going to do the same thing like we did with the triceps on this. Really kind of try to squeeze in the top, not worry about the weight as much, is really just get the blood flow going, get the pump in there. So we're doing another hammer curl. So I actually like to do at least 1, usually 2 hammer motions, because again, I think that contributes a ton to just the total girth of your arm.
Girth!
And you know, girth is so important.
Girth!
We did 4 sets, 4 exercises, 4 sets for both bis and tris. So 32 set arm annihilation. Now we're doing a little bit of forearm work just to finish it off. Reverse wrist curls. This bar sticks a little bit, so like if you can find a bar that doesn't quite stick as much, so you get that full constant tension. And this you can do a full range of motion where you roll the bar down to the end and curl up, or you can do a slower, more like a grip to it. Wherever you're getting that real good pull in the forearm. So you can see how he's doing it. He's not rolling it down the fingers, he's just doing more straight of a wrist curl. You can get a little more finger action in there, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So anyways, I just like to finish with like usually 1 forearm exercise at the end of my arm workout.